everybody, and welcome back to the Multiverse Locker Room, where the takes are hot, the teamwork is optional, and each team has a 4 DPS minimum. This week, we discussed the gameplay reveal of the Hood. Also, we're stepping outside the patch notes for a minute, because not every issue in gaming can be fixed with a buff, a nerf, or another emergency hotfix. We're going to talk about something that sparked a lot of debate in the Marvel Rivals community, the ban system. A growing number of players believe that black gamers are being punished more often and more harshly than others, and we're going to dig into some of those experiences and why people feel that way, and what NetEase should be doing to make moderation feel fair and transparent for everyone. Then we're going to zoom out and look at the gaming industry as a whole. Do sports games really need to launch every single year, or will we get better games, fewer bugs, and more meaningful improvements if studios move to a 2 or 3 year release cycle instead? And of course, it wouldn't be the Multiverse Locker Room without another Locker Room Meltdown. So grab your squad, keep the team chat respectful, and let's get into another week of chaos. This is the Multiverse Locker Room. No meta, just mayhem. I'm GoatDawg, joined as always by the man who started a petition to make crashing out an Olympic event, Mr. Kosa. How's it going, my brother?
Hey, man. Just call me Tom Holland. I feel like it's Spider-Man. It's a new day, brother.
Yes, sir. Nothing wrong with that, man. So I know we were just talking off air about some recent updates and some reveals that were made. So I'll let you go ahead and get right into it.
Yeah. So as of today, officially, Red Hood was revealed to be the next character upcoming in Marvel Rivals. This August 7th, this Friday coming up, and he's a Vanguard. So
Nice.
the rumors were true. And I know, what I'm saying, me and you are both happy campers that we don't have another DPS for
Yes.
once. I think that we had a healer in the tank this season
Healer in the
officially.
tank. Yep.
Okay,
DPS
so that's
season. We just said that. Once again, we know they be listening, man.
let's keep up the good work, man. They yeah, that's incredible, bro. So I mean, we didn't get the double tank season, but yeah, strategist in the tank. Hey, two heads are better than one DPS.
Facts. I'll take it.
um, but yeah, jumping right into the new updates. Well, of course, we'll get to the Hood. We'll save him last but not least. But the new patch notes that dropped today, we have I guess we'll start off with good old Devil Dinosaur first.
Okay. What's going on with the old Reptar?
So from what I can tell, they've increased the damage dealt on his Frenzy Feast attack, which is basically just his, multiple chomps ability.
Okay.
But they've increased it, the damage, well, the first 4 attacks from 5% to 8%, and then the 5th and final attack from 10% to 12%, which we discussed off air briefly, and I think that inevitably gives him a shadow buff as well to his overshield, because we all know, like, Double Dinosaur wants to be on the front line. He's a brawl tank. He wants to bite people. That's what dinosaurs do at the end of the day. And when he does that in return, he gets back overshields and it helps him sustain more on the front line. So I'm in the belief that increasing his damage on his bite, which is his main source of survivability, outside of like his bubble shield, will ultimately increase, his overall overshields that he gets. And also they increase the team up with him and Jeff the Land Shark, titled Surf and Turf. I actually like that nickname.
Yeah, I like that one.
So they just increase the duration on that team up ability from 4 to 5 seconds, and the healing effect on allies from 40 to 60 healing. So a little bit longer team up with the little water mouth beam and 20 more healing. So I don't think it's anything too crazy, and also it might be to his detriment, because also the Hood is a hit scan tank, with dual pistols, and we all know that's the Dino's kryptonite. Is
Yeah.
poking his scan.
That Dino about to get his ass poked up like he in the penitentiary, man. It's over with for him.
But you said he gonna be biting the dust.
He gonna be biting the dust, man, for real. That boy about to get cooked. That boy about to get cooked, man. I hate it for him. It's already kind of rough out there for him, and now they pretty much put his counter into the game, from what I'm hearing, and now they're buffing his power. So obviously more people are gonna want him dead. So man, it's gonna be ugly for Mr. Reptar.
Hey, yeah. I might not see brighter days, man.
Yeah, best of luck to that feller.
So I think moving along to the next character, we have Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme.
Okay.
And not anything too crazy going on with him. They're just increasing the damage of his projectile single hit damage from 16 to 18, and then the projectile charges from 10 to 12. So not crazy, just 2 points, give or take. And then, but also increasing this team up with the Hulk to reduce the Gamma Maelstrom cooldown from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. So you'll be able to spam your like your cursed energy, the little explosion that he does more often.
Okay. Well, I mean, Strange is your boy. How do you feel about that update?
Um, Considering I do like the overall damage. Like I said, the 2 point increase on his projectiles. That's a nice quality of life change for Strange. Just to make him, I guess, more of an attacker slightly.
Right.
Uh, but when it comes to the Gamma team up with Hulk, I don't use it that often. I prefer the Invisible Woman team up that he has, where he can use her pull ability. You know, so like if you have Venoms, or it's just another form of crowd control, and we all know CC is king in this game.
Absolutely.
So I feel like if you're taking too much damage, or it's too much pressure, what I'm saying, on your team, or your whether it be the front line or the back line, and somebody's trying to escape, whether they overextended and went a little too deep, then you can use that ability, to just reel them in to your team, finish them off. And also, it applies anti-heal. So, I mean, Gamma sounds cool, but I mean, you get anti-heal with Invis team up.
Yeah,
So,
that is true.
I think for me, I'm going with the Invisible Woman team up. Now, if I have a Hulk on the team and I get the enhanced team up, then, what I'm saying, I probably would prefer that team up over the Invis team up. But if it's just a solo Strange, or if we have another tank and I don't have the enhanced version, I'll roll with Invisible Woman.
Makes sense.
All right. Next up. Okay. My PowerPoint is loading. But we have Magneto. So Mag, I think they're just increasing his team up with Scarlet Witch. Okay, interesting. The enhanced effect, the metallic chaos projectile hit now adds a minor launch up effect to enemies. And what I think they're doing with that is that I feel like they're compensating, because his L1 ability, the regular ability that he has with no team up,
Yeah.
he can it's like it charges up to like 3 stacks, and then you can hit people, and it does knockback damage, and it stuns them. So I think with the Scarlet team up, there wasn't a stun factor, involved. So it's kind of a nerf, right? You got a new ability, but you lost your ability to stun.
Makes
So
sense.
I think now they're killing two birds with one stone. Now they're adding basically like a pseudo stun with the launch up effect to enemies, which is essentially knockback, right?
Right. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, quality of life change for Mag as well. Nothing too crazy changed with him. I I like that. I've been getting more into Mag lately. So I think that'd be interesting. Even though I don't really use that ability, because you got to charge it up. I just like using the regular sword attack that he has with Scarlet. I feel like that does so much damage, and basically, and that was the thing with the pro players recently. Um, they came out and they were calling for tanks to be banned, mainly because of Magneto being able to output so much damage with the Scarlet team up in that sword now.
That's hilarious. Them asking for anybody to get banned, or That's crazy. The irony
Anything
of
but a
that.
DPS, right?
Anything but the DPS. Exactly. These people run nothing but meta, and they
They're
complaining about
like,
somebody being overpowered. That is hilarious.
right? They don't want you to have the ability to counter them, even though
Right.
they have the most broken damage in the game. Like most of the DPSs are the hit scans and poke slop.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before. I'm not really that impressed with those pros, bro. We find out a lot of them be cheating, and they always complain about when something, counters them. It's like, bro, just step your game up, man. You're supposed to be the best, bro.
And also, are you? I saw this question posed on this anime that I watched. Shout out to all my Jujutsu Kaisen fans, man. If y'all into anime, but if you know, you know. So there was a quote on the show where it was two best friends. It was Gojo and his best friend, and his best friend asked Gojo at the end of one of the episodes, "Are you Gojo because you're the strongest, or are you the strongest because you're Gojo? Are you
Mm.
good because you play meta? You know what I'm saying? Or right? Is it just the meta that makes you good?
Hey, man, I like that, man. Because
You know what I mean?
because all they do is just, I mean, all the little few games I have watched, everybody running all meta lineups, and it's like, damn, I expect to see, just a regular old character in, and that's somebody who needs to be, nerfed. And it's like, so many of them get exposed for modding and all of that stuff. I'm just not impressed with none of those pros, man. I watch that stuff and it just don't do it for me.
Hey, but like we've been saying recently, man. It's just content at the end of the day. Like they're entertaining. The tournaments are cool. It's a different slice of life when it comes to Marvel.
Yep.
Because these guys are playing for like 500K on the line and things of that nature, and that quote unquote the best players in the world. So, I just go by the old saying that you got to study the greats, and I'm like, if these are supposed to be the greats, then right, I'm not easily impressed.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like they're meta slaves. And without that, if they're running the same characters that we're running, I feel like we got just as good a shot as anybody
No, they're
in these tournaments.
they're definitely meta slaves. That is a fact.
You know. So it's like take away the busted characters, bro. Play something that's like A, B range. You know what I'm saying? Kind of let's level the playing field. And yeah. And then, then we can decide from there.
Yeah. And anytime they get a counter, man, they crying about it. I just always I didn't mean to go off on this tangent, man. I'm sorry. You just you triggered
No,
me
it's,
when you
it's a
started
fair
talking about them, man.
it's a fair and valid point, bro. They cried to the point where Devil Dino got nerfed. That and now they're crying saying that Mag is overpowered. He needs to be nerfed. So what's next? The Hood? Because from the looks of it, he's going to be the next up. They're not going to have a fun time countering him.
Exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of
Um,
complaining.
yeah, I can see it now, bro. The writing's on the wall. Like on launch, especially, you know how they overtune a lot of these new characters and power creep, which hint hint. We'll get into that in a little
Oh
bit,
yeah, we're gonna
but
talk about that.
so I guess next up on the list is old Penny Parker, and I believe Penny got a nerf. I've been seeing a
Uh,
lot of people saying that Penny is found shot dead in the alley right now. After these patch notes,
mm,
and so it says the dev note states that they're slightly weakening Penny's control and survivability. In particular, the immobilize effect applied by her cyber web snare was too frequent and oppressive. I agree with that. First and foremost, that little spider web that she can shoot out that like stuns you and like in place and traps you.
oh yeah, the one who always
Um,
the one that always stops my oh yeah, I'm familiar.
you know what I mean? Like I'm not against them oppressing. That ability was oppressive. So I'm not against them nerfing that a little bit, but they they said that led to poor counter experience for our enemies, which is true because we've been on the receiving end.
Yeah, I get it
And
all the
so,
time.
with that being said, they said they decided to increase the cost of applying this control, but in return, we will also increase the freedom of her secondary fire. So they removed the direct immobilize effect upon hitting enemies. So I guess it took away like the instant stun where she just webs you in place. But the new effect now applies a stack of web tracer and a 30% slow effect for 1 second. The web tracer lasts for 5 seconds. If an enemy with the web tracer is hit by the snare again, they will be immobilized for zero point 0.7 seconds. So now I guess you gotta land it, it's gotta be a 2-for-1 versus you just spamming that ability over and over again. You gotta do like a combo now. And you only get stunned for 0.7 seconds, so that's not really that much.
Okay, I mean, I know the penny players will definitely complain about it. So
Oh, they have they have been, brother. They've been letting their frustrations known in the comment section.
when's the last time she got a nerf? I mean, this doesn't seem like somebody that gets nerfed a lot.
Yeah, I want to say maybe a season ago she got nerfed. I know the last big nerf I guess that she had was when they took away the Rocket team up, and I think that was for like a solid season. Um,
Yeah.
where she could have the two penny nests at a time with Rocket, but that was the last time like the last big one. I know they did like some minor tweaks here and there, but yeah, I think that was the last one that I can recall.
All right. Well, I mean, it seems like it was long overdue. I'm not gonna cry about it. Hell,
Couldn't happen to a better tank.
I mean, facts.
She is annoying as hell, right? She already has, the utility of a god. Once all she has to do is just beat you to the point first and set up, and it's just gonna be hell because we know people don't like to shoot nest and counter Penny.
Not at all.
Lord forbid we take the nest out so we can actually kill Penny.
And so we can actually capture the point. But I know this, they play it like it's team deathmatch. So
Well, she's gonna take a 2-for-1 hit, brother, because the hood is also gonna counter her penny nest with his pistols.
hmm, I'm in favor of that mostly. I mean, he sounds. I'm sure he's gonna be super OP. The first like week or so before they nerf him inevitably. But I'm liking the stuff that he's countering so far. So I'm okay.
Yeah, a lot of the annoying
Yeah.
nuances that we experience in the game. I think he is the solution. Just call him Allen Iverson, man. He might be the
The
answer.
answer. Yeah, I like it.
um, they also said that they adjusted the cyber web snare to be a charge-based ability with a maximum of 2 charges. Reduces bonus health cap provided to Penny by cyber webs from 200 to 150. 50 points less. Not the worst thing that could happen to her.
I see why people saying she got why she dead in the alley. I
Yeah,
love
they
it
they
though.
hit.
I love it.
She got hit twice, so it's
Yeah.
like, damn.
I like it though,
So
man.
yeah, I'm with you, brother. I don't disagree. So moving along to Rogue is next up. So they decided to increase the damage reduction multiplier while she's in her defensive stance from 55% to 60. Okay, increase that. Okay. And they also increased her regenerative shield capacity
Of course.
from 250 to 275. And I see this is what we talked about, right? We talked about some of these characters that they needed to rework the regenerative shields that they get. And
Yeah.
some characters need them, and some characters that have them probably should have a little more. So that makes sense because Rogue is a tank. She is supposed to have more HP, which means she should, in theory, have more of the shield regeneration.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
You know,
I mean, I groaned at first when you said it, but I guess it does make sense. Considering that context.
yeah, just because they try to make it half and half, right? Like whatever the maximum health was, they try to half that, and then the other half is the shield that can regen.
Yeah,
So I'm like, if she has a large health pool and you half it, then it should be evenly split. So I mean, just what 25 more shields that she gets, which can make or break. You know what I'm saying? That can make a difference in her peeling and making it back to her team or not.
yeah, you ain't
Um,
lying.
so at least they didn't go overboard, with Rogue because she's already a load to deal with.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it was it's pretty fair. I think overall.
Yeah, right. Like give or take, I'm okay with that one.
Yeah, no, I don't cry about that.
Uh, Oh, your boy Venom. Hold
Okay.
up. I think he got a nerf. He got two nerfs.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, do
Okay, I
tell.
like this. So they're reducing the bonus health provided by symbiotic resilience from 120% of lost health to 110.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, that's okay with that. And then they're also increasing his swing cooldown from 8 seconds to 10, so he won't be able to swing out of danger as frequently.
I like that one as well. All
So that
right.
means he's gonna be stuck on your back line a little bit more. So you get to get a little bit more close and personal with Venom.
Couple more seconds of headshots.
Oh, he gonna get CC'd to hell.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't wait.
Those 2 seconds, that's 2 more seconds of CC.
Yeah.
And then when you finally can get your swing back, they're probably gonna interrupt it.
Oh, more than likely, absolutely.
And then you gotta wait another 10 seconds.
You got to start over
Another
with
one.
another. Right. All right. I can get with that.
All right. Um, see, just looking around on who's worthy of being discussed next. I see some Black Panther in here.
Oh Lord. Did he get we ain't got to
Um,
go into the details, but did he get buffed or nerfed?
Definitely receiving a nerf, and if
Okay.
I'm not mistaken, I know that the general consensus of the nerf is his team up with Storm, which a lot of people complained about when the new update dropped for season 9. I remember that unintentional damage that he was doing and just deleting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That little bug they
Like
had.
that little bug, right? That they patched. So I guess they took it a step further, and hit the team up, which seemed to be the issue. So when selecting the team up with Storm, reduces the area damage to enemies from 40 to 30 and increases the cooldown from 12 to 15 seconds. Okay.
All right. Well, anything they can do to
Yeah.
make that guy get nerfed, I'm cool with it. Reduce him any kind of way y'all want to. They can take him off the game for all I care.
Reduce all the annoying ass dive characters
Facts. Get them
while you
all.
at it.
Take them all. All right.
Let's get a nerf across the board to dive, man. That shit is annoying to deal with.
Facts.
All right. Next up, we have good old Scott Summers, aka Cyclops.
All right. What did they give my boy?
So they gave him a buff, man. So I think it might be that time. I know you was practicing with him. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. We was in a quick match. And I know you like him. You like his kit. So I think this is just more of a reason for you to play him.
All right.
Um, so they're increasing his cooldown reduction provided to the ricochet force, which we know is the one that bounces off the walls. Uh,
Okay.
per optic blast hit from 0.15 seconds to 0.25 seconds. So he's going to be able to spam the ricochet a lot more, which is one of his, fun abilities.
Yeah.
Is very resourceful, I think,
I
and you
agree.
played with him as well. So, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't mind it. I think that's a pretty okay, little buff they did. I'm not mad about that.
Fair enough.
I did think it took
Yeah,
a little bit too long to come back, so I'm cool with that.
right, just a slight reduction cooldown that's probably right up his alley, huh?
Yeah, I think that's okay.
And so also when selecting his team up with Gambit, increased the concussive beam attack frequency boost from 10% to 15%.
All right, now see that one. That's a little much.
Yeah, that's a
I
slippery
mean, that's a
slope.
that's a little much right there. I think they could have done well with just leaving. Honestly, could have just left him alone. Period.
Facts.
I don't think he
I
needed
mean,
too
if,
many more adjustments.
if anything, right, like the slight cooldown reduction they could have just left it at that.
Yeah, I think that was enough.
Once again, they have to appeal to the poke slop in this game.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one.
Oh, so Elsa's getting a nerf, but only to her team up with Double Dinosaur. It's reducing the health of an activated smoky snare trap from 100 to 50. Damn. And its control duration from 1.5 to 1.2. So, okay, so 0.3 seconds less. of time that you're trapped in her snare, and they're reducing the health. Right, because the health of an activated smoky snare trap. Okay, so this thing, I guess is, I guess you can shoot it.
Yeah, you can
You know,
shoot
because
it.
I
You
know.
can shoot it now.
Oh, so they changed that. Remember, because you couldn't shoot it before because you couldn't see it.
Yeah, they made it to where you
Uh,
can see it and you can shoot it now.
that part. Okay, so right, the health of the trap has been reduced by 50, so
Yeah, it
you can
did
take the
take
traps out
it
easier.
did take a little, a few more shots than I would think it would to kill it. So okay, I'm in favor of that.
Okay, so yeah, we agree on that one. Hella. So when selecting the team up with Namor, reduce undead monstro single hit damage from 15. Okay, from 15 to 10. So they're reducing her undead squids that she can spawn with Namor the damage by 5.
I think it should be reduced
So
by more than that, but at least it's a reduction and not a increase. So I'll take it.
facts. Right, they could have did more. Um oh, we might be I think they compensated Moon Knight here.
Oh boy, well we knew that was
All
coming at some
right.
point.
Because we know he had got that nerf and he fell off. We haven't been seeing many Moon Knight players recently,
No, we haven't.
but because they reduced the damage, they were his overall damage. But now it seems as though they've adjusted his crescent darts, his primary attack, and moon blade bounce damage decay from 30% to 20% per bounce.
Oh boy.
So they okay, I see. So when you're bouncing the onk or you're bouncing his darts around the onks, the decay was faster when it was at 30%, but now they're reducing it to 20% per bounce. So yeah, I guess that's the onk or whatever, because the onk has
Yeah,
health. The more you hit it, it takes away health from it, but in return you can bounce the darts around off of people.
that makes sense.
Um,
It sounds like you live in Grand Theft Auto out there, man.
facts, bro. This is Los Santos,
Facts.
Saint Diego, Grand Theft Auto.
Facts.
Also says when selecting the team up with Cloak and Dagger, reduce Luminous Moon cooldown from 15 seconds to 12, and I think that's the healing and ability that he gained with that team up. Yeah, the base effect increases the dash duration from zero point 0.3 seconds to 0.35 and dash distance from 12 meters to 15 meters. The enhanced effect, Moon Knight gains a 3-second healing effect of 20 health per second after leaving the phase state. So yeah, that's his healer team up with Cloak and Dagger.
All right. Well, I don't know.
So I haven't seen too many people use that. I mean, you can turn him into like a pseudo healer, but I guess he's more of a selfish healer, in that sense.
Sounds about right.
So
Typically a selfish player too. So
yeah, my main thing with him is just them increasing the dart and moonblade bounce damage decay. So he might make a resurgence. We shall see. The verdict is still out on Moon Knight. Jean Grey, the Phoenix. All right. Increase the what? Okay, see, y'all already lost me by when you say increase anything with Phoenix.
exactly.
Increase the damage dealt when detonating sparks from 35 to 40. Oh, she getting more spark damage.
Oh boy.
And increase the area damage from 12 to 15. So she's getting more AoE and more damage with her sparks. Okay. Lovely. We love it. Not. She loves me not. But
Yeah, I'm not feeling
uh
that one.
also when selecting the team up with Rogue, increase telekinetic beatdown damage dealt from 45 to 55. That's her little Phoenix avatar that she could deploy now. It's like a Spectre with the Rogue team up and can deal 10 more damage, which nobody was really using that team up anyway. I felt like it was lackluster compared to her Phoenix or her Hella team up, because her Hella team up gives her hella damage, no pun intended.
Yeah, I don't even think I've even seen the one that you just mentioned. So yeah,
At all, right? I don't think we've seen it once.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it at all. Well,
Oh, next up, this your girl, Scarlet Witch.
what we got, man? On the goat.
All right. When selecting the team up with Doctor Strange, the base effect, the ability has a 8-second cooldown and 8-second duration. When activated, Tanovian Burst is replaced with Mystic Burst, allowing magic missiles to be fired freely with no energy cost. The enhance effect becomes a toggle type of ability. When toggled on, Mystic Burst replaces uh Thanonian Burst, allowing magic missiles to be fired freely with no energy cost. So I'm assuming her team up with Strange just got that much better because you don't use energy at all.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
I know for you, you never really, use that team up, but maybe now this is an incentive.
yeah, it sounds like you because I was complaining about like with this new team up thing. You can have the ability even if strangers isn't in the game, but you can't like with the old ability you could turn it on and off, and now you can't. So it sounds like they're giving you the option to turn it back on and off again. Hmm,
Yeah,
that's
when you
cool.
have Strange in a party, it's giving you, yeah, you have the option now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's something I did say that I wish they would have done. So I like that.
Okay, okay. Next up, we got Logan Howlett, aka Wolverine. Berserker Rage adjustment. Whoa, increase rage gain per hit, taken from 5 to 8. Adjust rage decay timer from starting after 4 seconds of no rage gained to after 5 seconds. At maximum range, reduce the decay rate from 15 seconds to 10 seconds. So, okay, that yeah, his rage state is kind of a problem, as is. So it seems like that just got even better, and that gives him. I think that gives him his regenerative his healing factor. I believe when you pop his rage, you also get his healing factor is activated. Um, Not exactly sure. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's how that works. And it seems like they adjusted how much rage you gain per hit, by 3, and adjusted the decay timer by 1 second, and the range of the ability is reduced. Oh, it reduces the decay rate as well. Okay, it's kind of meh for me.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, it's
I mean,
like
I
good.
want to get into playing Wolverine even more. But just the matches we get, we don't get to really practice a lot with these
Yeah.
characters before.
Man.
Apologies for the right. I don't know
Good
what's going on
lord.
back there,
Somebody committing crimes in your backyard, man.
man. Tell me about it. uh, so next up, okay, we got my boy Gambino, Remy Lambeau. All right, the Raging Cajun. So when selecting a team up with Magneto, adjust the launch up frequency of the spell field from zero point 0.5 seconds to 1 second, which basically means the knockback, right? Like people already, couldn't get close to you when you threw down that little bubble with the team up or whatnot. So now it seems like they just increased it by zero point 0.5 seconds. You get a full. Now it's every second you're getting knocked back instead of zero point 0.5.
Okay.
Okay,
Eh,
so is that technically a nerf?
yeah, I think it would technically be a nerf. Yeah.
So people are probably complaining because it stops dive. So divers probably started complaining, oh, we can't, we can't harass Gambit like we want to because every zero point 0.5 seconds we're getting knocked back from his team up. So okay, let's increase it to 1 second.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That seems like kind of meaningless. I don't know. It's kind of all the things I think that they should be looking at. I don't know if that was the one that needed to be addressed. And I don't even play Gambit, but not impressed with that one.
Yeah, they could have. That's a whatever
Yeah.
burger, nothing burger really.
Yeah. What? Did
Um,
you have any other ones
what?
you wanted to look at, or was that it? Oh, Gambit.
Jubilee. Nothing really to see there. She just got like a point. increase from her primary from 10 to 11, and the single hit healing from 14 to 15. So she just got a point across the board for her healing and her damage. That's not really
Yeah.
noteworthy. Loki, we're at the end here. Loki increased mystical missile projectile speed. Say that 3 times fast.
Jesus.
It's a tongue twister. uh, from 100 meters per second to 120 meters per second. Huh.
Okay.
Okay, so he gets 20 more meters on his primary fire speed. That's all right. I like Loki. I actually want to get back into playing him more as one of my healers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know you be
Um,
doing good with him.
and is this last but not least, or close the first from last? But White Fox, your girl, so
Okay.
she's stepping fully into the spotlight. Okay, reduce the energy cost of Kamiho Unleashed ultimate ability from 4,800 to 4,300. Okay, so she'll be able to get her ult faster.
Okay.
After casting, it automatically applies the blessing by the non-tail effect to all enemies within a 10-meter radius for 3 seconds. So that might have addressed what you were saying about her ult.
Uh, I mean, it seems like it's gonna do a little bit more healing, but like she's still very soft in her ult from the sounds of it.
Oh, I see what. Yeah, you were saying just the overall got you
Yeah, I
in
just
her
think she's just
form.
weak. Like in that ult, it just is. I mean, you get manipulated. I mean, you saw the Squirrel Girl L2 thing like shut me down like during my ult. Like that's a regular attack. That shouldn't be able to do
That's
that.
true.
So I don't know.
Okay. Uh, yeah, with well, that White Fox was the last on the list, so that wrapped up the buffs and nerfs from this update.
All right. Well, I mean, interesting stuff. I definitely think some of that stuff is stuff that we've been asking for, like the penny thing. Not really. I didn't necessarily need to get the whole Dino thing, but I understand why they did it. I definitely don't think they should have. I mean, Cyclops didn't need any more help, but here we are.
Or Phoenix.
Or Phoenix. I forgot about her. But there's certain characters we know that they're seemingly a little bit more partial to. So not really surprised they went the direction they went in with these people.
Facts. Seems like a lot of the same with some of these
Yeah,
adjustments.
exactly. Um, so another thing I wanted to discuss, man, something that just really pissed me off the other day is I just think every season obviously there's a new meta. We talk about this every season, and of course we've been talking about it forever that this season right now, at least to this point, the big thing is dive. Well, in previous seasons it was poke. It was we had the flyers little thing for a while. We had dive before. It's just something different every season. And what pisses me off is we will go into the later parts of these seasons with the meta being whatever the meta is, and these idiots still cannot adjust to it. We were playing comp the other day, and you remember this game where you had Gambit, and I'm literally having to deal with a Magic, a Scarlet, and a Magneto, because the Magic is diving, the Scarlet is diving with her, and then of course Magneto is just doing his thing, and nobody on the team could adjust to it. And I'm just like, as long as this season has been what it is, you guys still haven't figured out how to adjust to the dive. Like every season, these people cannot adjust to whatever the meta is, and that shit is like it's so annoying.
I agree with you, bro. Um, yeah, I don't know. They just can't seem to get right when it comes to countering in this game. I feel like that's the biggest kryptonite of a lot of the player base. Um, we see the same things over and we see the same comps. You know, just the same song and dance. We see it all the time, and at this point, there's really no excuse for people not to know, what to do in that situation. How to counter certain characters and certain like abilities. Like we all know, there's a hierarchy. Like brawl counters dive. You can dive all day, but if you dive and you get in close quarters combat, that's where brawlers excel. So they can put
Right.
hands on you. We know that poke counters brawl because you have to close the gap to get close to poke characters. But good luck, making your way to them while they're shooting you in the face.
Facts.
Um, and also dive counters poke, because they're flanking for the most part, so you don't know their whereabouts. And by the time you see them, it's too late.
Yep.
Like a Black Panther, for example, you can sit on a back line with a Phoenix or a Cyclops all day until they just sneak you from behind.
Yeah. Facts.
Um, but yeah, you would think most people would have common sense and have this knowledge, but they either don't know how to counter or they just don't care to counter because they just simply want to be selfish and play whatever character they want to play, regardless if it's working out or not for them. I feel like so it could be one of two things, but I feel like there's no excuse, to add to what you were saying. At this point in the game, bro, we're too far removed to be falling for the same tricks and tactics.
Yeah, I agree. And, obviously you were in that game I just referred to, so you know how frustrating it was. But I just don't understand, like, how this game has been out as long as it has. There's been different times that the dive has been the thing. And it's like these characters, obviously they put out new characters all the time and stuff. But as far as, like, play style, dive has been around since the beginning. Like, this isn't like they just put somebody brand new on here that can dive, and people just cannot adjust to it. And it's just crazy to me. Like, we went the whole game, they pushed the vehicle however far they got it, and then we had to go. And it's like we went this long into this game, and y'all still have not figured out who to swap to. Then you bring up to the teammates like, hey, why don't we get a thing, or why don't we get this or that? And then instead of them wanting to swap over, they want to troll and stuff. And it's just like, man, like, you just came in here ready to lose. And we didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, oftentimes or not, that's exactly the case, man. But like you said, that's a good example. You can run anti-dive, right? There's Namor, there's Sting, there's like Fantastic, and even with the healers and stuff, like that's why I run certain healers based off of certain comps that we run. You would think people understand that. Like you're getting Dove, they want to run a Jeff, and it's like, bro, Jeff's not good against dive. You know what I'm saying? So you might want to run a Loki. You know what I'm saying? You can run like a White Fox. You know what I'm saying? She can fight back. Loki can put his clones down. Make it difficult for people to get to your back line. Gambit is really good. He can fight back. He has the bubble with Mag now. Like Cloak. You know what I'm saying? There's a little bit of anti dive with her healing bubble. She can stay in there and fight for a little while. There's other options like Ultron is good. He's the anti dive healer, and you see, that's why he became like my top healer right now is simply because the meta's changed. And I'm like, well, I can sit back here and just keep getting my head beat in on dive, or I can just go in the sky.
Yeah, seems like a pretty
Um,
simple choice.
it was pretty much that was an easy one for me. So I added Ultron, you know what I'm saying, to the bag. But uh, yeah, I don't understand. But there's a whole roster full of characters, but people just remain on the same comps, that simply aren't working. And yeah, it's a huge problem in the community, man. But I don't see signs of life.
Yeah, I don't. It's a moot point. I just had to put it out there. You know what I mean? We deal with that so much, and it's like every season, man. It's like y'all can't get it. Like no matter what the meta is, they just can't counter it, and I just don't understand that. It's just so crazy to me. But
Yep.
Wait,
Can't or won't.
exactly, either a skill issue or a will issue. But I'll get off my soapbox here. So real quick, we don't have to spend a lot of time on this one, but I know we had brought this up before. Um, do you think? I know your answer, but for the listeners, do you think that it's a good idea for sports games to be released every single year?
I don't, my brother. In fact, I feel like it's oversaturating the market. Um, you know, it's a lot of the same song and dance once again. Because you're just releasing the same sports games or titles so often that you're not giving yourself a grace period to really make like the necessary adjustments.
Right.
So you're pretty much just getting a new copy of the game, or you're just getting a new year of the game, but it plays the same essentially. Only thing changed is the title.
Exactly.
Um, so yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of sports games being released annually. I think we talked about. I think most sporting games has probably around a 3 year, on average, shelf life. Until you probably grow tired of it and you're ready for a new release. But a lot of the old sports games are still being played to this day more frequently than the new titles that are dropping. So that says a lot.
Yeah, I agree. And real quick for the listeners, I'm sure you guys are wondering like where this conversation is coming from. We were having a conversation the other day about the new features for EAFC 2027, aka FIFA. So it's one of my favorite games. The FIFA franchise. I'm a big football fan, and they're finally adding an open world type of deal similar to the NBA 2K playground. And I just had made the comment that this is something that obviously somebody like myself has been wanting for a while, but it makes you wonder like why we haven't gotten this stuff, but yet they're putting these games out every year, and it hit me. It's like, man, we haven't gotten this kind of stuff because for one, people keep buying stuff the way it is, but also like they don't have time to come up with anything. Like as soon as the game comes out, they got to get ready to put the next one out because it's coming out every single year. And to me, that just doesn't make sense. Obviously, from a money standpoint, that's what they're going for. So, from that perspective, obviously, it's pretty simple to see. But just from a practical standpoint, like if you're putting out a game every year, there's no way you're putting out something fresh every year. There's no way the graphics engine is not going to change every year. It's not really going to look that different like from year to year. And for me, that's kind of like selling your people short because it should be reasonable to expect for game developers to put effort into their craft and to give you something every year or every time a game comes out. I mean, they already update rosters, and sometimes they'll change character models and they'll add stuff into the games. So it's like, why not just go like to a 2 to 3 year release schedule, and that'll give you time to actually come up with some new stuff and actually put some real improvements and make the game feel new every time it actually comes out going forward.
Man, I agree with all the above. That definitely was the genesis of our conversation, the origins. And yeah, like you said, they just don't have enough time, man, because they're trying to meet quota every single year. So it's right, it's always a new sports title, lurking around the corner. And yeah, I think they probably should take like the Grand Theft Auto approach towards sports titles. Like hell, if you got to take, I mean, not 13 years,
Right.
but something along those lines. Take your time. But the old saying is, do it right, do it light, do it wrong, do it long.
That's what they say.
So, uh, yeah, I think they should just take their time, man, and just come out with a quality product. And because it's not like there's a shortage of sporting games. You know what I'm saying? Most people are still satisfied, with older sports titles. So that's not the issue. So it's not supply and demand. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more. Well, it is. It's more supply than demand. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? But so I think maybe they need to do the inverse.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I just, you know, I was talking about how it's crazy that Grand Theft Auto is going to be less than a lot of these sports games that come out every single year, and we've been waiting over a decade for this GTA. So I just think, not saying Rockstar is this perfect company or anything, but I definitely think that when it comes to that kind of stuff, they got it figured out, and I think that's as a consumer, and as somebody who's been gaming for a very long time, and I've seen the prices of games reach the apex. Them coming out with this highly anticipated game and it being basically regular price, to me it's just welcome. Like we know if this was 2K or Madden or FIFA or something like that, and they were having this type of release, man, that game would be $300, man.
Easily.
Yeah, so that was just something that I just wanted to cover, man, on the show. Maybe the listeners that have their own opinions, but definitely the main thing that we wanted to talk about today was, the ban system in Marvel Rivals. I'm going to give you the floor because I know that you had an incident the other day when you were streaming the other night with some people. So I'll let you give the listeners a little bit of insight into that, and then I'm gonna give an example of my own. But just to set the scene, a lot of people are saying right now that Marvel Rivals seems to unfairly target some of the black players as far as like bans and stuff like that, and it doesn't seem like it's consistent across the board. So with that being said, Kosa, you can go ahead and tell us about the other night on your stream.
So many moons ago, I had the pleasure of queuing up. I think it was a quick play match. I was streaming on Twitch, just getting some content for my channel. And lo and behold, I get matched up, with I guess a stack of players. I want to say it was probably about 3 to 4 of them that were friends and knew each other. But of course, we get into the match. We do not have a single tank. Instead, we get 5 DPSs and 1 healer. And I say 5 because I'm including myself because I decided I was not going to run either a solo tank or a second healer because why do we have 4 DPSs already?
Yep.
So I decided, hey, right, let's all have some fun. And as a result, I switch over to my game chat for comms with the team. And I'm just stating the obvious, the elephant in the room. And I was like, okay, so we really just running out here with 5 DPSs and 1 healer. And of course I get met with resistance and all type of backlash and negativity and the guys on the other end of the mic were like, hey, like shut the fuck up and it's quick play, by the way, and if this was ranked, you would have a point, but it's not. And then proceeded to start dropping the N-bomb repeatedly, calling me the N-word. And I know these people weren't black or African American or even African, you know what I'm saying, for that matter. Clear as day, that wasn't the case. But they were allowed to continuously call me a derogatory, term and a racial slur, and nothing happened to them. Meanwhile, all I did was defend myself, and of course, at this point, I used the word back because, it's not. Once again, it's not fair for you to run for a DPS, and you know what I'm saying, and I don't get the DPS, so it's not fair for you, to call me names, and I can't call you a name back.
Agreed.
So all I do is retaliate. All I did was reciprocate the energy that was given to me. I matched their energy, and you guessed it, I get chat banned for 5 hours. But meanwhile, these people are still able to, chat and game. They probably were still in the voice chat. They were still typing in the text chat on the game. And then I'll do you one even better. They took it a step further, and then they all joined my stream. They proceeded to try to cyberbully me and jump me on my stream while I'm gaming. Just talking all types of crazy, crap. But at that point, I told them, hey, thanks for stopping by the channel. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the support. You might as well just, get you some popcorn and watch the show, because, meanwhile, you're talking crazy to me, but at the same time, now you're in my world. You know what I'm saying? This is my channel. It's my chat. I got my own moderator. You know what I'm saying? So if I want to ban you, I would, but I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just content, by the way.
Facts.
So that's my spiel, man. But I don't agree whatsoever. I said I'm just giving my 2 cents on, is it fair? I don't think so. But is it allowed? Absolutely. For some odd reason, it seems if you're not black, you can call people certain names, especially the N word, and not be reprimanded. But as soon as we use it, all of a sudden we're targeted and we get the ban. So I agree. I think there's a conspiracy going on. Can't put my finger on it, can't really prove that's what's going on, but I can say in my personal experience, I've seen it happen, and it's happened to me.
Yeah, I mean, so my little situation, man. That was my longest ban ever. 7 days. I think you had one recently, but my longest ban ever was coming from a similar situation where I was defending myself, and it was one of those nights where, for whatever reason, they would. I guess they were just mad because I was just telling people to like play better and to do smarter things. So they had to go for their ace in the hole. When they can't match you wit for wit or skill for skill, they got to bring out the tried and trusted N word, which doesn't really do anything these days. But whatever. And sure enough, I had to listen to that, and I just decided after a while that I was just done listening to it, and I just told them to shut up, leave me alone. I wasn't so nice about it, but I did say that. And you know when you get somebody banned on the game, you'll get that message in your inbox saying, you got them chat banned or muted or whatever the case may be. Um, but when you get banned, you'll get basically you just can't you can't even talk anymore in the chat. It'll just get you'll basically be on mute, like forcefully on mute. And so of course that's the option I got. They didn't get chat banned during the game. I literally got a ban. I couldn't chat, and they're still just going crazy, calling me the N word over and over and over and over again in the game. And I'm just like, dang, like I got banned for defending myself, but they're not. They're still able to continue to call me this word, and then I get back to the lobby, and of course I don't have any kind of mail saying that they got reported or that they got banned, I should say, because I had already reported them. But like I said, but I get banned in the same game, and I just didn't think that made any sense. And so we've had these discussions before, and we really didn't even want to talk about this on the show necessarily. But now there seems to be a growing contingent of people who are having similar experiences. And I just think Marvel or NetEase hasn't been very transparent about their ban system. It's kind of a lot of nuance and kind of a lot of implications here or there, but it's nothing that they've just come out and just explained how it works, explicitly. And I think that's kind of an issue because we have real experiences of how this stuff is disproportionately targeting us, but we're still having to deal with people calling us the N word and everything else, and it just doesn't seem like it's consistent across the board.
I mean, no disagreement. It's definitely not consistent. But it's consistent in the sense that they're allowed to keep getting away with it.
I agree with that. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
It's kind of like what we talked about, trusting people, like just trusting people to be themselves, and I trust the developers and the moderators to ban the minorities and quote unquote and let the majorities get away with murder essentially. Um, and it's just it's not healthy for the game. You know what I mean? Like you can keep politics because that's basically political. You
Yeah.
know, I put that in the same. Like religion, politics. Like we're gaming. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for you to take it to that level of disrespect. Especially if it's not provoked or warranted. If someone's just asking you, "Hey, can we swap to this or can we counter?" I don't feel like that's a trigger for someone to then start calling you slurs. So that's very immature. That's very like evil in nature. Those people definitely have some personal issues in their real life. Maybe they have some bad run-ins, with the opposite race or what have you. But at the end of the day, if nobody is sending for you, I don't think you should retaliate in that manner. And I think there should be harsher punishments for people who are the aggressors, not the people, what I'm saying, that are responding to the aggression.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. That was just really disheartening for me. Like, man, I get a ban. I don't care about the ban. I don't even really chat like that anyway, unless I'm with y'all. But for me to get a 7 day ban, and for this person or these people to get nothing, I just don't think that is fair. I'm just and then I reached out to the customer service, which I never do, but I was like, I got a 7 day ban, but they didn't get anything. And the guy's like, well, you know, our system automatically like monitors for certain words or certain phrases or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, you can't say that if they're able to say the same word I got banned for saying back to them. They're able to say to me unsolicited just over and over and over again. You can't tell me that the system can hear me say it, but it can't hear them say it. Like I'm not. That doesn't even make sense to me.
Never has and never will, brother. But we know, these type of people exist, and they also, unfortunately, play video games. So we have to share the same space with them. You think you can avoid, the negativity and racism in real life, only to turn on your favorite, Marvel video game and have, your teammates of all people. It would be different, right? If we could communicate with the opposite team or the enemy team while we're fighting, but these are our own teammates, in-house fighting with us. And, it just throws the chemistry off. You don't want to play, what I'm saying? You probably don't want to play the game anymore because that shouldn't be allowed. And the fact that it is allowed, that's disheartening. And yeah, like that's just I just don't think that's fair for anybody to have to experience that. And that is the definition of cyberbullying.
Yeah, I agree. Um, so we know Guang and them are listening. So fix your banning system, brother. That's all I gotta say. Because right now that shit sucks.
Yeah, man. Some people, man, and then the issue with that is some people take stuff too far, man. Like, some people may look up your IP address or whatever, and find out all your personal information. They may go on the dark web and stuff. Like you don't know how people are gonna retaliate to that level of negativity. So, it's not safe, to play those type of games online with people. So, um, right. We're just trying to promote overall, positivity for the gaming community. And yeah, it would be a shame, if something were to happen in real life to some of these people who are talking crazy on the microphone.
Yeah,
Not
man,
saying I
we've seen
condone
it.
it, but
Yeah,
it would be unfortunate.
it definitely would be unfortunate. I mean, we've seen it where people, unfortunately, stuff like that happens. So we certainly, like I said, I just really would like some clarity. I really like for them to just make it more consistent and just really get it together. Because nobody deserves to be sitting there having to be bullied and talked down to and stuff like that. When we're just trying to play a game, because we already know y'all wouldn't say it to my face. So don't say nothing. Don't say nothing from a million miles away that you wouldn't say to my face. Let's just keep it about the game and just keep it moving.
That's it, man. That's just the message we're promoting, bro. Nothing more, nothing less.
Nothing more, nothing less. Well, at the end of the day, every game is built on one thing: the people who play it. So whether we're talking about moderation systems, release schedules, or the communities that we create around these games, one thing is always true: the players deserve games that are fair, polished, and worth coming back to. So hopefully these conversations will push the industry forward, even if it's just one episode at a time. So if you guys enjoyed today's discussion, please continue to follow the show, leave us a review, and share this episode with someone who's passionate about where gaming is headed. So for Mr. Crash Out Kosa, I'm GoatDawg. We'll see you next week in the Multiverse Locker Room. Bye-bye, everybody.
Keep it cool, kids.
Don't make me look up the IP address, baby.